to know what are all the properties of the parallelogram. So let us consider this is one parallelogram. So whenever there is a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. So here it is AB and CD. So opposite sides are equal. And again BC and DA are equal. So whenever we have parallelogram, opposite sides are equal and opposite angles are equal. That is, this angle and this angle will be equal. Similarly, this angle and this angle will be equal. So opposite angles are equal. Similarly, the adjacent angles are supplementary. That is, these two angles are adjacent. Okay, so for example, let me take this angle as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary. Supplementary means when we add these two, we will get 180 degree. Okay, so angle 1 and angle 3 are equal. Why? Because they are opposite. So these two are adjacent angles. Adjacent angles, when we add those two angles, we will get the value as sum as 180 degree. And then diagonals bisect one another. So here BD and AC are diagonals. So when we draw the diagonals, these will bisect one another. Bisect one another means here we have meeting point, right? So these two diagonals are meeting here. Okay, bisect at this point. When it bisect, this value and this value will be equal. Similarly, this value and this value will be equal. That is, OD it is equal to OB and OA it is equal to OC. So before solving the problem related to the parallelogram, these properties you should know. Okay. So with the properties learned, let us see the example 4. In the example 4, it is given that in the figure that is best is a parallelogram. We need to find out what is the value of x, y as well as z. Okay. First of all, we know the property that opposite angles are equal. So with that property, I can easily find out what is the value of x. Okay, so opposite angles are equal. So I can write that x is equal to 100 degree. Okay, and then I need to find out now y and z. Okay, so for that we have a concept that when we have two parallel lines, okay, here it is ST and BE are the two parallel lines. When we have two parallel lines and it is intersected by a transversal line, okay, so this is the transversal line, right? So when we have two parallel lines and this is the transversal line crossing it, okay, so we can say that the angle here and here will make equal measure. Okay, so this angle, for example, let me say that it is 1. Okay, then the angle formed here, it is also, let me take angle 2. Okay, so this angle will be equal. So angle 1 which is equal to angle 2. Okay, so similarly when I have this angle, okay, this angle and this angle will be equal. For example, if it is 3, if it is 4, okay, so the angle 3 is equal to angle 4. So when we have two parallel lines and we have a transversal line and we have the rule of a corresponding angle, so these two are nothing but corresponding angles, that is 1 and 2 are corresponding angles, both will be equal. Okay, similarly the corresponding angles 3 and 4 will be equal. Okay, and similarly, for example, let us see 5 and 6, the corresponding angle 5 and 6 are equal, the corresponding angle 7 and 8 are equal. Okay, so with that rule I can easily say that here what are all the corresponding angles? Here the corresponding angle is x as well as y. Okay, so angle x and angle y are equal. Why? Because they are corresponding angles. Okay, So I can say therefore y is equal to x is equal to 100 degree. Okay, and then now we need to find out what is z. Okay, so whenever we have two adjacent angles, when we have two lines intersecting at a same point, right? So these two are adjacent angles, or we can say that it is a linear pair. Okay, so the addition of linear pair is equal to 180 degree, that is angle y plus angle z. When we add both, it should be of 180 degree. Okay, so when we have two lines intersecting at a same point and these two adjacent angles are nothing but linear pair, when we add these two angles, it will be of 180 degree. So using that rule, I can find out what is z. Z is equal to 180 degree minus 100 degree, which is nothing but 80. Okay, so I can easily find out what is z. It is nothing but 80 degree. So x is determined, y is also determined, and then z is also determined. Okay, and again the same problem. Okay, so the same problem I can solve in another method also. Okay, what is the another rule? We have opposite angles are equal. Okay, so another property is we have adjacent angles in a parallelogram. Okay, adjacent angles, when we add adjacent angles in a parallelogram, it is of 180 degree. Okay, so adjacent angles are supplementary, right? This is also another property we have discussed, right? Adjacent angles are supplementary. So what do you mean by that? When we add two adjacent angles, it is equal to 180 degree. So 100 plus z, it should be of equal to 180 degree. So z is equal to 180 minus 100, which is nothing but 80. Okay, so in this way also we can find out what is z. Again, once we have determined z, okay, so already in the previous exercise and all we have discussed, right? So actually this is interior angle, this is exterior angle. Okay, so once we know the interior angle, we can easily find out exterior angle. Okay, exterior angle is given by y, which is nothing but 180 degree minus z. Okay, so this is exterior angle, this is interior angle. Exterior angle measure is equal to 180 degree minus interior angle measure. So 180 minus what is that? It is nothing but 80 degree. Okay, so y is equal to 100. I can easily find out in this way also. Okay, so you have different rules, right? Different properties. So using that you can solve the problem in any manner. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching.